Hello. So it's now about a day, about 30 hours since the first raid boss event started, and I kind of just want to talk about like some of the best heroes for that event. We've now had a chance to kind of see some fights, do some fights. I've kind of seen kind of what's working, what's not like, and right in my guild, like so if you're actually just go to the Hall of Fame, my guild is doing okay. We're ranked 14 right now. We've done 45 million damage so far. I said there's still a few. Like I said, not everyone's done all their attacks yet, so we might go back higher. Um, like I said, we'll do better next week now that we know. I mean, I don't know if we'll get this numbers because we're not going to go through level 65 bosses again, but like I said, I feel like we're doing pretty good. For first week here. Like I said, we probably could have got the higher, but we didn't know what we were doing, so it was kind of a learning curve. So yeah, so some of the best heroes I think when we talk about like if you like some of the things that have like really emerged is that well first of all let's talk about like the best pet. For most situations, the best pet is actually going to be Albus here. Right, so even if you can't like buff him up, like I said, look this, he does 243,576 damage with his ult, and he targets the enemy at the highest health, which in this case is always going to be the boss. So this always hits the boss. So if you don't have, like I said, there's a lot of teams that you might not be able to do a lot of damage with. So you're probably like, going to be using him in most fights. If you're doing your chump teams or your weaker teams where you're not going to be able to do a lot of damage, but they can survive a bit. Like I said, you just want to do him because he's going to do most of the damage in that fight. But when you like I said, but a lot of the heroes who do the best are also heroes who do pure damage again. So you want Albus for those fights because Albus is just going to do even that much more damage because the concentration allows him to do extra damage with those heroes. So this is a big deal. Plus, his patronage ability really good, like on a pure damage hero, because he can almost double their damage. So Albus is kind of like the MVP when it comes to pets. So who's the MVP when it comes to heroes? Well, I've been telling you guys for like as long as I've been making YouTube videos that you should get Sebastian because he's the best hero when it comes to like PvP and stuff. Yeah, it turns out he's the best hero for this event too. I mean, I've seen some stupid damage fights. I mean, I've actually done stupid damage with him. Right, like I said, I had a fight where I did 24 million damage with Sebastian because he has that Albus patron, and then Albus did 17 million in that fight because of, like I said, Albus MVP, Sebastian MVP. Right, so Sebastian, if you don't have him yet, and like yeah, you definitely need to get him. Right, use your soul chest things that you get at the end of months for him. I don't have any if I used them all during the theme, but your daily bonus, use these things for him. Like he is 100% worth it. He's best PvP hero, and now he's proving to be the best guild raid hero. And if you really want to, and then put that Albus patron on, and some of his partners in crime, right? Like Nebula works really well next to Sebastian. Like let's just pull it up like a guild, go to guild battles here so we can put this easier. So right, Nebula is very good next to Sebastian because Nebula pretty much always, as far as I know, Nebula always sits next to Sebastian. I don't think there's any heroes that can sit between them. So she will buff up Sebastian and he'll get that extra pure damage. So that's good. And like I said, so he does a lot more damage. It's like I said, we should actually look at his skill here that does the best here, like I said, so this one, so he increased critical hit, but he has a chance. This is pure damage. So on a critical hit, he does 107% pure damage of that hit. So the critical hit was 100,000 damage. He does 107,000 damage. If you do have Albus on there, you increase 107 times 75%, so it'd be almost 200,000 damage. And then with Nebulous boosting him, becomes that much bit of a bigger hit. So 0.12% of physical attack, and then of course Nebula, if she's boosting his equilibrium, he's getting another 60k physical attack. So that is a big, huge boost, which causes him to do even more damage. So you're greatly increasing his DPS there. And like I said, and really with that Nebula line, if you're doing that Nebula line, just put another physical attacker on the other side like of him. I used you for my fight, but I've seen Ishmael work. I've seen Kira work. Like Ishmael was really good. I said, and I think I could probably use even another pure damage here, something like Qin Mao. You'd probably have to go without pet on Nebula, but Nebula doesn't really need a pet much. Like you could put like maybe Kane on Qin Mao or something, or like I said, but something like another hero that does some damage. So they have proven to be kind of like the best. Healers that seem to be the best. Thea is really good, and Marcus is really good. Right, so they can buff magic defense. Magic defense buffing, like I said, the boss, all the defense orbs and stuff, they do lots of magic damage. So magic defense is kind of like the primary like mitigation stat you really need for this event. So these healers, they buff magic defense when they use their ult. So these are generally the best healers. Celeste is pretty good in I mean Celeste is always good. Mage teams are kind of disappointing. Like you just mage damage, like I said, you can't use Lars. You also can't use Kark for kind of same reasons of Lars, because the boss can't be moved, so you can't do their usual shenanigans. But Krista's strong enough to like be a tank in some teams. Like you can use her as a tank for mage teams, plus she buffs magic attack. But mostly you're using a tank. She's not. I don't think Lars adds much, but the best mage hero if you're trying to do mage teams, or you have a lot of mage teams invested, is Orion. Like Orion's by far the best mage hero. Put him with Celeste to buff because she's the best buffing magic attack. Like maybe Chris is a tank, and then just try to fill this team out with some more magic damage dealers. I mean, it's gonna be kind of a crapshoot. You might want Merlin for this team, but you still can't go wrong with Albus. So so that's kind of it. Best tanks. Galahad is pretty good. Aurora's good because she can do block the magic damage with her Rainbow Hell. She'll absorb it. Her PBAOE will do the damage. Corvus, where's Corvus? He does a lot of pure damage. Where's Galahad? Galahad, he does pure damage with his ults, plus he has Vampirism. Corvus does a lot of pure damage with his altar. These are kind of like the best tanks. And again, like Krista's okay as a tank in like a mage team. Marcus, he can double as a tank plus be a healer, so Marcus is pretty good. Cleaver, I think, there's Cleaver. Cleaver's also good. He can do pure damage as well. Like I said, so these tanks I think are the best. If you're looking for like tanks, I think these are the best tanks. Besides that, it's like stuff like Krista or Marcus are probably the best after that. Yeah, and it's just really about doing damage. Like pure damage heroes are pretty good, right? Yasmin, Qin Mao. Like I said, we've already talked about Sebastian, Ju's good. Qin Mao, Yasmin. Good stuff. So this is generally when you're trying to do this, like, and we've also noticed that having like people who have like one good team, like I said, and this also you don't need to invest in 25 heroes. Like having 1 to 2, like having strong heroes like that are fully maxed or nearly fully maxed, or what we used to be fully maxed. Having like really strong heroes do a lot better than weak heroes. Like even if you have a bunch of like heroes that are like you would think be sufficient, they will die pretty quickly because they're just not going to be strong enough. Like if we go, let's look at one of my log here. Right, this team here, like, you would think this team would be strong enough. You would, like said, look at the power. Like, look at most of these heroes are 100k power. You think this team would be strong enough. Martha's under leveled, but that shouldn't matter, right? Well, this team did not last very long because they're just not strong enough. And that's kind of like they die pretty quickly. Right, you see that? They're just not strong enough. Right, now it's gonna do a lot of damage here, but so it's really having strong, like I said, if we still have over a minute left and this team's already mostly dead. And it's just pretty much just Martha. They've been tapped by the nightmares, and nope, that's, like I said, pretty much game, like I said. So there's that. So yeah, that team did pretty poorly because they're just not strong enough. So it's really having strong teams is going to do a lot better. My mage team actually did okay. Again, Lars can't move stuff, but Orion, even though he's way weak, like I said, that is one hero that can do stuff weak, is Orion, because Orion's good. Like, Orion's by far the best mage team. Like, Lars, Krista, they're kind of like my best mages. They did not do a lot. Celeste is kind of healing for this team. So it's like I said, so having strong heroes to invest in, like I said, MVPs though, like Sebastian, like you can't top Sebastian's DPS. Like, so those are generally seem to be the best heroes. There might be a few other heroes that could be good in the right team, but I'm pretty much all the teams I'm seeing, like Sebastian, Ju, Qin Mao, Yasmin are kind of top picks, and then Nebula, you can always use Nebula and those kinds with those heroes to extend them. Ishmael again, like because he's another strong crit hero. You can put there Fox, like I said again with Sebastian, like natural crit heroes like Fox, Ishmael, Jew, Yasmin can go good with Sebastian lines. Anyway, I hope you guys found this video informative. Thank you for watching.